Blackout 650 Gaming here, and welcome back to Assetto Corsa. I completely failed at saying my own channel's name just then, you may have noticed, but that's not important. Today we are driving a Ferrari F40. I cannot sit correctly in this chair at the moment, don't worry about it. Anyway, and we are on the Black Cat County track. It does not actually exist, but it's a pretty sweet track, and this is the long version of it, which I haven't actually driven on in quite some time, so yeah. And today I don't have the track IR on because I didn't feel like putting it on. Come on, can I please just pull away in a normal fashion? Close enough. We're going for a nice peaceful drive at a speed that I cannot see. Alrighty then. Less peaceful now. So there haven't really been any updates to this game in recent times. Ooh, shit. So, yeah, nothing's really changed. But it's still a pretty fun game. Definitely runs a lot smoother than Forza. Then again, so does everything. Pretty much everything runs smoother than Forza. Okie dokie. For instance, I don't know, games from Windows 95, they kind of run a bit smoother than Forza. Games from DOS, which you might think, oh well, of course, it was a much simpler game then. Oh shit, don't hit that. Okay, or do. Anyway, however, since it is older, it was designed for older operating systems and not for modern day ones, so it wouldn't actually run super well. Definitely still able to run it. Okie dokie. But it would probably be a little bit of a pain. However, holy shit. Forza just runs horribly. As always, I apologize if I don't talk much in these videos. I tend to be kind of focusing a bit. Damn it. Keep overcorrecting too. Like when you see me suddenly jerk the steering wheel to one side or another, or if I'm slowing down around a corner, yeah, that's me trying to not go flying out of control. However, I as previously stated, tend to overcorrect it, and that kind of does more harm than good. I should really just slow down more before the corner. Oh, shit. I'm good. Don't worry about me. I'm just, crashing into everything. That's pretty normal. Oh, and of course, as with any driving game I play, where I use my steering wheel, shit. So we're gonna go ahead and restart this. As with any game where I use my steering wheel, I apologize for the loudness of it. Fortunately, though, actually, I'm also gonna up this. I did actually recently put a fan in the steering wheel. And the fortunate part is it's not really loud. Let's try that again. There we go. Heat up the back tires real quick. If you could stop freezing like that, that'd be awesome. Alright, so we're doing this again. Okay. Here, let me take this corner in a fashion so I don't go flying out of control. Whew, that was tough. Anyway, the reason I put a fan on my steering wheel thing is because it would actually overheat. Believe it or not, the steering wheel would overheat. What's overheating is stuff inside, obviously, but it actually has two fairly large motors that are connected to the steering wheel for the force feedback, which is, if you don't know, that's what makes it vibrate. And after a while of playing that in a game where you know, have vibrations, especially in this game, because you can be playing this game for a couple hours and not even realize it. Well, okay, actually that's not entirely true. You can play this game for a fair amount of time and not realize how long you've been playing, at least. But since, you know, the steering wheel has, you have to actually apply a proper amount of force to the steering wheel. It's not just freely moving, it's actually got, I don't know, tension. And since it has that, that's the motors resisting the turning of the wheel. And since you're still turning the wheel anyway, it heats up the motors. And when it does heat up, it actually manages to fall out of center. Like, I'll be driving along and having the actual steering wheel at like that angle will have the game steering be straight. So I have to have my steering wheel on quite the angle. Otherwise, I will drive into a wall worse than usual. Oh, shit. Well, that's less than good. Oh, boy. Possibly in the next video, I'll actually drive another mod car. Because, I mean, though the cars that come with the game are fairly high quality and well detailed, they're sort of, I guess... come on, computer. Keep up. No, they're all kind of bland. You know what I mean? I mean, there's obviously, you know, the ridiculous race cars on here, but... I mean... Oh, shit. Okay. Got it. Don't worry about it. A lot of the cars are just, you know, cars that you expect to be in a racing game. I kind of prefer to have some cars that are like, why the hell are you driving that? For instance, a Volkswagen Golf. However, I do really like this car. This is one of my favorite classic cars. The F40, because it was such an iconic car. It was, I think, one of the fastest of the time. And it's such a weird looking thing, too. You got a fairly... Come on. You got a fairly large wing on the back. And, you know, all that fun stuff. I don't know if you can see this freezing up when it does, but it's really annoying. And I don't know why it's doing it. Sorry, I'm again focusing. I believe this is an 11,000 meter trek. I have no idea what that is in miles, so, you know, we'll just have to go with it. Slow it on down now. Probably didn't have to slow down that much for the corner, but I did it anyway, so, you know, whatever. Shit. Turn, if you're gonna fucking slide, then at least do it sideways. Ah, shit. Handbrake? Fuck you. Go to hell. Do I not? I swear I set a button for the handbrake. There it is. Found it. It's on the steering wheel. It's just not where I'm used to having it. Okay, so we actually want to go this way. Okay. Alright, slow down. I don't know why I slowed down, I really didn't have to. Now I do. I'm gonna go over here. And in. Come on, stop freezing up. If you see on the lower left those random, like, huge spikes, that's when it freezes up. So, that's awesome. I don't know if somebody, by which I mean some component of my computer, finishes its task while it has to wait for some other thing, some other component. So I don't know if that's what's happening or what. That's something called bottlenecking. It's usually when your processor can't keep up with your graphics cards, but I don't know, I mean, it's possible, but I feel like it's probably more likely the memory in my graphics cards. A lot of people complain about the bandwidth of the GTX 960, which is what I have. Of course, it could be my main shit. It could be my main screen being a 40-inch television that might be a bit of an issue. Oddly enough, something of that size can kinda be a bit detrimental to your gaming performance. I know, it's amazing, right? Who would have known? Okay. See, something I really like about this game, and it's something... Shit. Something American Truck and Euro Truck Simulator both kind of pull off pretty well. The amount of tension, I guess, I can't... force needed to be applied to the steering wheel to turn it. I will stick with tension. Shit. The amount of tension in the steering wheel actually varies on the terrain. Terrain? I don't know why I said it like that. Varies on the terrain. And then in various country truck simulator. Ho ho ho. That was pretty neat. Until I fucked it up. Anyway, in various country truck simulator, if your engine dies and you lose power steering, which is A, realistic, and B, which is realistic, the steering wheel actually gets a lot more stiff because you lose the power steering. And if you don't know what power steering does, it makes it so you can actually turn your steering wheel when you have zero arm muscle. Fucking goddammit, you piece of shit, run well. Ah! And if somebody says it's because I have an AMD processor, I'm gonna be pissed. It may be AMD, but it sure as hell is fast enough to keep up with this game. Or at least to keep up with my graphics cards. Especially when it's overclocked. Then again, I did have to redo the overclock recently, so maybe I fucked that up more than I thought. See, I can't tell, because when the game freezes up, so does the preview in OBS, so everything freezes. So I can't tell if it's recording it smoothly or not. But you can definitely see the spikes in the lower left corner when it does freeze up. Kinda correlates to when I yell at it, too, so... yeah. Come on. So here's something kind of interesting. Figure I might as well talk about some channel updates coming up. I might start doing something a little bit... if I can hit the back of the car, I don't care. Something a little more different here soon. I'm buying a power cable for an old camera my sister gave me. There we go. Turn. Don't die. Thank you for not dying. Anyway, I was thinking I might just start doing face cams, but I'm not too sure about that. But what I am definitely considering is whenever I like recently I drilled a hole through my Logitech G27 steering wheel. So I'm thinking I might do a whole series on that. Fucking goddamn it. Like whenever I build something or modify something, I might record it. I'm actually thinking I might replace the thing. Oh, I fucked this way up. Holy shit. Okay. I might replace the thing I have the steering wheel hooked onto. Because right now it's 2 chunks of micro-density fiberboard, I believe is what it is, MDF board. It's 2 large slabs of that with the steering wheel bolted onto it. And then I have another really small chunk of that mounted on top of it that has the innards from an old Driving Force GT steering wheel screwed onto that. So I'm thinking I might replace it with something a little bit better. Well, not necessarily better, but nicer looking, because this stuff's got a bunch of fucking damn it, bunch of holes in it and some paint as well. So I don't know, I might replace it with some of the same wood I used for my pedals, which I believe was aspen, if you're interested. I gotta remember the other ways of slowing down in a car that in a car that doesn't have ABS. See, in my brain I just automatically push the brake fairly hard, but not all the way to the max. Because if you just floor the brake, the wheels will lock up, and that's less than helpful. But what you can do is you can pump the brake. Like, you know, when you hear somebody say, "Whoa, pump the brakes." That's what that is. And I would assume it comes from cars not having ABS. Fucking game freezing. Anyway, I assume it comes from cars not having ABS in the olden days, and you having to pump the brakes to stop in, you know, a hurry. I could be wrong, though. I really don't know. Damn it. Nope. Fucking... Why? What was that? Why did that happen? Alright, I will admit to absolutely hating the turbos in old cars. Since there's no traction control, when the turbos finally decide to spool up and join me, and the engine, it really fucks with shit, because all of a sudden you have a bunch more horsepower and a bunch more torque. And that very easily causes issues to occur in handling. And it's the best when it's around a corner. Stop freezing up, game. Alright, after this lap, I'm gonna end the episode. I know, this is a very uneventful video. Shit, fuck, shit. Fuck the clutch. I'm not even gonna use it. Oop, that could have been better. I mean, it's pretty much hopeless at this point anyway. Oh, fuck you, transmission. There. That was an expert clutchless shift. Can you tell I've driven a semi? Well, okay, I've driven a fake semi. I've moved a real semi, but I didn't technically drive it. Man, the clutch on semis are... Oh, fucking... God damn it, stop freezing. Clutches on semis are insane. They're super long. I have actually also pushed in the clutch on a normal car, and it's even longer than that. It was a Jeep Renegade. Son of a bitch! I hate that fucking corner. Yes, let me shift down from second into second. That works really well. Alright, one nice thing about old cars, other than... even though they don't have ABS, since they weigh a lot more than modern day cars, the brakes aren't usually strong enough to actually lock up immediately because, you know, momentum. So you can actually still floor the brakes and it won't always cause issues. Alright, let's see. How hot is the air coming out of this thing? Not bad, actually. Alright then. Yeah, this thing looks absolutely beat to shit. Probably because it's beat to shit. Alright, just look at the back of this thing. It's such a weird car. Come on, Spitfire. There we go. For some reason, I think that might be illegal. Haha, works better in gear. Whee! Here, let me show you what I was talking about with the turbos. Alright, so we're moving, right? Now, at this low RPM, their turbos aren't going to be spooled up yet, so when I floor it, nothing happens really, and then you can hear the turbos kick in and it just starts to slide out of control. Turbos. So one more time. Going pretty slow. Floor it. Turbos. It's not too terrible when you're going in a straight line, but like here, if I'm in first and I gotta turn, all of a sudden the back end just goes, you know, away. Alright, I don't know which way is up with the steering wheel anymore, so... Alright. There we go. Stop. Please stop. Thank you. I love that there's horns in this game. I mean, it's pointless, but it's awesome. Actually, there is multiplayer, so maybe it's relevant there. I might do something with that at some point. I have no idea. Well, anyway. Sorry I didn't do much in this game. I'm really not sure what to do in these. But, you know, whatever. I'll play it anyway, because it's a game I enjoy, and not a hugely well-known game, so I like to get the knowledge of it out. It's actually relatively recently come out on console. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, go ahead and leave a like. If you didn't, then don't leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video.